that?
Yeah, why not?
Try that?
You're going to try nomming on one?
Nomming on one?
Yeah.
What,
They're a great trial snack. Oh.
Oh. Good morning and welcome to Lucent or Ushent. Ushent. To start the day, we've come to the tourist office.
Which is closed.
Yeah, and it's not our fault for a change. Let me just show you. It should be open.
But it's not.
But
and
it's not.
The door doth be locked.
Yes. So not our fault for a change. But apparently this is a very historic town.
It is.
So we're going to go and see some history. First impressions, not the best. The first up so far, it's going to sound horrible, it smells.
It's very smelly.
There's this horrible smell in the air. I don't know what it is. It's pooey. But what we're hoping is, though, is... Sorry, you were going to say?
No, but hopefully it'll be nicer the further we go in.
Another thing we've both noticed already is, unlike a lot of the ones or videos we've been doing recently,
Oh, sorry.
there seems to be lots of people milling around. It's not crazy busy or anything, but there are definitely inhabitants going about doing their daily business.
Yeah, and to be fair, the villages that we've been to, or towns, whichever you want to call them, recently have had, on average, 500 inhabitants.
Yeah.
This has got 2,500.
Right.
So
it's
we
5
should
times the
see-
size, yeah.
we should see considerably more.
I've been here on a bike ride before, and I
Okay.
filled my water up from there.
Cool.
And I think I stopped for a quick drink and sat in one of those tables outside that bar, I think.
Cool. That building's interesting with those windows at the
Yeah.
top. Windows, but not windows.
I'm going to be honest with you, we were just talking a second ago, and the thing we're seeing with this village so far, town, it's not a village, this is a town.
Yeah, it's not a village.
The thing we're experiencing with this town at the moment is it's got pretty bits to it, but it's sporadic. It's very, I don't know how to explain it. You've got this here is very pretty. You got not so pretty building, not so pretty, could do with some love. That's well looked after. That's just I don't know how to explain this.
It's, at the minute, it's quite a mix of old and new in the same places.
Yeah.
It's not, there's not the divide of old town, new town.
Do you know what? That's actually a really good way of putting it. It's like this was once a very big old town, and they've been knocking buildings down and replacing them. Do you know what? The one thing I want to say about this town, they've got lots of businesses everywhere.
Yeah.
We've passed so many. And this is probably about the 8th or 9th shop we've seen so far. That house is stunning. I think that is gorgeous with all the exposed stonework. The arches at the top there. And then either side you've got this, and then on the other side, these two here. It's such a mishmash, this place. bizarre, isn't it?
It is.
Alison was, well, pointing out the fact that it seems to have got these holes kind of evenly spaced out all the way up. But when you think about it, though, they're not, you know,
It can't even be.
it's not even for floors.
Perhaps it had some kind of wooden cladding.
Don't know.
Gosh, look how old that wood is around that door frame, window frame, or whatever it is.
Where's the, oh, up
And
there.
that would have definitely had a
This here.
turrety, sticky outy bit on the corner, look, because you
Yeah.
can see where it's been all the way round.
Somebody, please, if you know, let us know what these holes are. Oh,
¿Hablas valenciano?
Valencia no, castellano sí, poco.
¿Son valencianos o castellanos?
Castellanos
Castellano.
mejor.
Sí, pues han subido allá arriba al convento.
No, es cerrado, ¿sí?
¿Eh? Está cerrado el convento,
Sí.
pero pueden andar hasta adelante en coche.
Sí.
Y lo ven por fuera, hay una pinada, está el convento allí, la iglesia está detrás, pero está cerrado. Es
Sí.
ir y pegar la vuelta por allí y ver algo, si quieren.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sí.
A ver.
So
was
she
lovely.
was very lovely and very helpful, but she did say a word. There. And I think she wasn't using it as Google then told me it means, because it means fart.
She knew me?
Right. When the tourist office fails, what you resort to is
Trying
going
the
to see
town,
the town
hall.
hall. That's a very pretty building. I
That
love
is.
the tiles at the bottom there
Oh, they're
with the big
spectacular.
hangover.
Big hangover.
Yeah, yeah,
We don't drink.
yeah. Right.
This,
We're going to see if we can get in there and do our usual, get some information, see how we get up to the... There's a monastery in there here.
I've got some information for you.
Yeah?
This town hall was refurbished on the 3rd of July 1999.
Cool.
It says so.
Do you know what's nice? By the way, we're just sat on the doorstep of the town hall. This town, we may have called it a bit of a mishmash, but it is alive.
Oh, God, yeah.
There's people everywhere.
Loads of people.
It's lovely.
But they're not tourists. They're residents.
Yeah. Going to sneak round.
Yeah, it's
Like
a
these ladies
hub
just sat
of
over there,
people.
setting the worlds to rights, sat outside the town hall.
Yeah.
It's lovely. So this seems to be the edge of the village, or town. I keep
I
calling
would
it a village.
say
This
so,
is a
yeah.
town. Okay. Well, it's quite nice.
That's a lovely little area. Look at the size of that tree.
Please don't tell me that's a road that people drive down.
Well, clearly, look,
That's...
they've got their own little parking spaces. Look.
Even
Doink,
for
doink,
us,
doink, 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 doink,
we'll
doink,
go down
doink.
most roads. We'll give anything a shot at least once. Alison more than me sometimes, but look at that.
That's cool.
Do you know what? I've got to say that this town feels alive. There's
Busy,
just
isn't
stuff going on everywhere. We've passed numerous people sat in the road, chatting, and they've been lovely, by the way. So welcoming. We've passed the hairdressers back up there on the corner, and there were just people in there socialising. I think we said earlier, we were passing all these houses and you can hear life in all of the houses. It's actually really nice. So's that though.
it? Yeah, I was going to say, we had intended to go left here to go to
Yeah.
the church, but I just spotted that, which is why I stopped walking, but didn't say anything because I was waiting for you to finish your talk.
So we need to go left,
well,
but we're
need
going
to
to
go,
the other left.
Yeah.
Let's go the other
Well,
left
our intention is to go left, but we're going to go to your other left.
and
just
have
now.
a look up here.
Yeah. These are steep.
So this is, you said, the old part.
Yeah, it said it was, what did I say? It's the Raval. It's in the upper part of the old quarter, built in the 16th century.
Carry de Raval.
El Raval.
El Raval.
Yeah. Primitive form of the houses, a very simple physiognomy with a rectangular plan.
Cool.
With the urban development of the 19th and 20th centuries, the suburb was included in the village.
I found the church.
Yeah, me too.
Have you?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Directly behind us.
Yeah.
That's where we were heading if we'd have gone where we were if we'd gone left. There's a cage one side of the bell thing. One side, but not the
Here,
other.
on this right-hand side, as we look at it, I haven't got a clue. Maybe it was torture.
Weird.
Stick somebody in there and make them listen to the bells being rung within
Cool, that'd hurt, yeah.
within inches of your ears. I don't
Yeah.
know. Stunning building though.
It's lovely.
Incredible church.
It's a bit confusing though, because that door says the year 1600 and that door says 1867.
Ah, see, that was the original church then, with the door maybe, and then this has been extended and increased in size.
Maybe.
Maybe when this was the original, because I don't know if we've explained this, we're actually now in the proper old part of this town. Maybe then the old town was here and that was the church, but as the town's grown, 200 years later, or nearly 250 years plus later, they created this extension. I just noticed on that clock tower up there, it's
Yeah.
1 o'clock.
It is. It's kitten feeding time. We need to head home.
If you've not been following our channel, we've currently got 3 abandoned kittens in the house and we need to go back and feed them quickly. By the way, we've not actually mentioned, where we are, Luchent, is actually only 15 minutes away from our home. So we're going to dash back there. And then I think once we've done that, we'll probably get a bite to eat at home as well. I think the plan is to drive up into the hills behind here and see the monastery, the chapel, and possibly a couple other bits.
Yeah.
We're back, but this time we're up a hill.
Yeah.
We've got everything sorted, and we've come back to see, well, to start with this, which is the chapel. And then afterwards we're going to head up here to the monastery. What was that you were just saying?
The information thing there
Yeah.
says it looks more like a country house than a hermitage. It's just the belfry that betrays it. And I said it does look more like a country house.
Yeah, actually. Particularly here in Spain, you could almost imagine that being a big farmhouse with farmlands, couldn't you?
Yeah.
I was going to have a look down here actually at what
A
this
nice
is.
Casa Rural.
Because they've put some stairs in here.
Yeah. Oh, they're Neolithic ovens.
What are?
The Forns de la Calth.
Where are they?
Down there, I assume.
Actually, while we're here, if you saw last week's video from Otos, we stopped to have food and they gave us this dessert that we thought initially was chocolate, but it was actually carob. And it's this. This here is a carob tree. And these things here, these pods, are, I don't know, what do you think?
Well, they are carob pods, but they use
think-
it as a substitute for chocolate.
Yeah, but do you think that was ground down and put in milk or something?
Possibly. But you can smell it.
Oh yeah, it does smell like chocolate, almost.
Goats absolutely love them.
Did it say how far down the hill we got to go?
Well, no, but you can see them there.
Oh, is that it? Neolithic ovens. Going to see an old cooker.
Yeah.
So, we'll come this way round. We've got lots of boards. And are they all ovens?
I assume so.
This looks like the most preserved of them, or restored. I'm not sure which. Bye then. Well, all I hope is no one switches the oven on. What did you say they are?
Lime kilns.
Lime kilns.
Lime kilns.
So what we got here? 1, 2, 3 of them. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so in this bit. Might
Just
be
3 of
another,
them.
might be more over there, or they might just be walls, but that board says just in the area around Uchent there is 46.
46 of these.
46.
I didn't even know they were there. Never
I
heard
knew
of
they
them
were there,
before.
but like I said, on Google Maps it said they were closed.
Ah,
But there's nothing
to close them off for us,
yeah.
yeah. Right, let's go and see the monastery. By the way, we're reading up about carob pods.
Apparently it's a great trail snack if you harvest it straight from the tree.
Yeah.
So, there you
And
go.
apparently we were reading that you boil it in water for 20 minutes and it's a good ingredient for sweet stuff.
Yeah,
Do we want to
replacement sweetener.
grab a few and try?
Yeah, why not? I mean, this was
I'm
obviously
really-
ready
right,
to
I'm gonna
harvest
say
because
this.
it came off in your hand.
Yeah, what I was going to say is, if we're doing something wrong, really sorry, let us know and we won't do it again. But we're going
This
to
is
take
true.
a few carob pods and try cooking something with it.
Apparently they're highly nutritious,
Cool.
containing minerals such as calcium, potassium, iron and magnesium, along with B vitamins, riboflavin and niacin.
Superb.
Zero fat.
And if I knew what niacin was, we'd be laughing.
Ought to get them.
Well, they're just falling off, most of
Well,
them.
that's what I said about this one. It just came off in your hand. So
I don't know, how many do we need?
not a Scooby.
About that?
Yeah, why not?
Try that?
You're going to try nomming on one?
Norming on one.
Yeah.
What,
They're a
like,
great trail snack. Oh,
oh,
tastes just like that dessert.
that's not the most atrocious thing I've ever tasted straight off the ground.
Well, it wasn't on the, thankfully it wasn't on the ground.
That'd be that chip I found in Walcott.
dear Lord. Shall I share the story of the chip?
No, no.
So, we'd gone to a restaurant and we'd taken the dogs and there was AstroTurf on the floor. Darren went to use the facilities and when he came back, the food was there and we'd had chips. We'd ordered chips and he saw a chip on the floor and thought it had fallen off his plate, so he picked it up and ate it, and I couldn't say the words quick enough to say, that's not off your plate, we have no idea how long it's been there or who's weed on it. But he's still alive. It was several years ago, so
Thanks
he's all
for
kinds of
sharing.
special.
Right, we've moved the car up to the monastery. We on the way up here, Alison continued to eat the carob thing and discovered that the outside bit's nice, but the inside bit, as in the seeds inside, they're not. By the way, we can't take you in these places, even if they were open today. We spoke to the lady in charge from the town hall. We got given her telephone number. She actually met us in the street in the end. And unfortunately, it's not allowed to record video. You can take photos, I believe, but you're not allowed to record video inside here, the palace down in the town, or the ermita, the chapel as I call it. But we'll show you around the outside. This is actually really impressive and really well restored. And you'll have to see this though first, yeah?
It looks really nice. Well, this is, I mean, obviously we refer to the ermitas as chapels.
Yeah.
The direct translation is hermitage, but this was actually on Google Maps as a chapel. So
This is the chapel.
this is the chapel.
God, that ceiling's old.
Yeah. that burning or mould or
somebody's
both?
been putting religious graffiti on the walls. Disgusting behaviour.
Well, I think the fact that it's been made red, I think it's possibly the original to whoever rebuilt it.
Yeah. Actually, I just looked back at the monastery. That was quite nice from here.
It does.
Is that bell towers to the right? Does monasteries have bell towers?
Don't know, do I?
No, not do I.
I
And
think
by the
that
way, you can
part's
probably
actually
hear
the
the
convent.
cicadas in the trees going crazy again.
Bobby,
Huh?
I think that part's actually the convent, isn't it?
The convent. So there's
I
a
think you've
monastery
got-
and a convent here.
Yeah, asking for trouble. I think the bit at the front is the monastery, and I think the bit behind it is the convent.
Right.
Why is this very large lump of rock kind of...
Well, this one over here.
Yeah.
It's a very big cross. It is. There's something about this rock that's important.
It's got writing on it.
It's an important stone.
Got engraving on it.
If it was in Spanish, we would stand probably half a chance. That's probably in Latin, isn't it?
Something about commemoration. And that's corporal.
When did you learn to read Latin?
There are no end to my talents.
Come and get in the shade, my darling.
Nice door.
It's got that metal stuff on again.
And then they've painted it. Oh, hello, Mr. Gecko.
Oh, bless him. Mr. Gecko. Oh, there he goes.
Here he goes.
He's gone to pray.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they pray at a monastery convent.
Yeah.
This is lovely up here, though. Because
Lovely
again,
breeze.
all the way around here, there's these benches. I don't know if you can see, obviously you've got the bins all the way through. We've seen a couple of picnic tables up here, so I can think of worse places to come and sit on a Sunday afternoon and have a bite to eat.
Yeah.
Just wandering around the outside here, trying to see what we can find. Apparently Allerton
Beautiful
has read,
views.
and what we're also looking for is it's supposed to be a really huge, gnarly, interesting, pretty carob tree. Have you found it, my darling?
I have.
This
I don't know how we couldn't see these pods.
Because neither of us have got our glasses on.
Well, I did have walking across.
To be fair, I only need glasses to let's do that a bit again.
Driving and
For driving,
reading,
reading and lots of things, yeah.
Yeah. Can I just borrow that tissue again?
Oh my word. I tell you something, we are getting absolutely chewed to pieces by mosquitoes for some reason up here today. When we first got here, we didn't... Is that another one? And another one.
Missed that one.
When we first got here, we struggled with mosquitoes. We used to get bit to shreds. But as the years have gone on, it's become less and less a problem for us.
The
But for some
tiger ones
reason-
are evil.
For some reason today, up here, we are literally getting savaged.
Decimated.
It's an invasion.
It is.
There's another one. Right, move.
Oh dear.
What's that?
He lost his head.
Oh, he's headless. Bless him.
And
That one's completely missing.
gone completely.
I was going to say, because he's heard that this one's lost his head to something, he's done a runner. But that's that for the monastery. We've kind of gone all the way around. I think what we're going to do now is jump back in the car, drive back down the hill, because we were lazy today, even though it's a lot cooler at the moment since we've had some storms and the temperature's now down to kind of 29 to 31. We were a little lazy, drove up here. We're going to drive back down to the village and just have one last little mooch around. So we've moved the car back down into the town, and we've parked in a slightly different location, but this part seems, how would you describe this? It seems newer, or there's definitely,
Well, that's
things
very
definitely
modern.
seem to have been very renovated. I mean, yeah, that one in the corner.
It's very modern looking.
Clearly been replaced by a modern building. I think I just heard you say exactly what was going through my brain.
What, that building's gorgeous?
No, well, yeah, that is good. This one, I think Alison's talking about.
Yeah.
You were talking about top windows, weren't you, in this town?
Yeah. See,
What we mean, or what I'm getting at, is we've been wandering around here, and it's the first time we've had a proper look at this town, and a lot of buildings, like this one, seem to be sort of a ground floor, first floor, and then this top area that has either got openings with no actual proper window inside it, or quite often it's just big open arches or open entrances, isn't it?
well, those three, it looks like there's nothing behind those Persianas. That's got the hanging loop for the Persiana, but you can see straight through,
Yeah.
and it's just random.
Yeah. But it's the whole village. There's all over the village like that.
Yeah. I mean, this one here, it's got three beautifully arched windows at the top.
Yeah.
They are glazed.
But this has clearly been restored and that's been filled in.
Yeah.
I'd love to know why these houses originally had the big unwindowed open space at the top. What?
I don't know. I don't even know
Although
what
this
you
is-
call them.
This is, we saw the sign at the beginning of the village, at the start of the village. This is something like Lucent of the Farmers or something, isn't it?
Yeah. Village of the farm, or Farmer's Village or something
Yeah.
it was, wasn't it?
Maybe it's got something to do with agriculture. Do you know what? I'm so glad we did actually come down to see more of this town. Because this part's really lovely.
Yeah.
I really like all the houses around here. And being honest with you guys, we're very tired. The
You think?
thing with the kittens that we've got in the house at the moment, they've been hard work. They've had a difficult-ish start, particularly the black girl. And we're drained.
It's
And we
been very
went, and we
worrying,
were
hasn't
up at the monastery just then, we were like, oh, almost kind of like, can we get away with just going home now and going to bed and go and sleep for a few hours? But I'm glad we didn't. I'm glad we've seen this, because this is really nice. By the way, kittens.
it? 8
Quick
weeks
plug.
now.
8 weeks,
Yes.
looking for new homes,
Ready to leave.
ready to go.
We'll be
Very
vaccinated
lovely.
shortly. And then,
Yeah, if anyone is looking to rehome kittens, please get in contact.
yes.
And
Preferably in Spain, because they can't actually have their rabies vaccine until they're 12 weeks, and then they can't travel for another 3 weeks afterwards. So it means they would have to wait until they're 15 weeks to be able to travel
yeah,
to another country. Not that we don't do that. We've
have
sent
rehomed to other places
several of our
before.
kittens that we've had brought to us to the UK.
yeah.
But selfishly, we would rather they moved out before they were 15 weeks.
Yeah.
I'll miss them. I
There'll
will
be-
miss them. But
It is selfish in the sense we want sleep, but also if things go the way they possibly could in the next couple of weeks,
Yeah.
we are going to need to see them kittens rehomed quite quickly. Okay, so we made it back down to the church, and that's pretty much it for this town.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's been really lovely to see. It's something very different to any other town we've been to see really, because
Yeah.
it's very traditional, but it's a larger town and it's got life to it.
Yeah.
Compared to a lot of the towns or the little villages we've shown you guys, we've bumped into so many people here today. And I really like the atmosphere here. It's a lovely place.
You can tell it's siesta time now, though.
Yeah,
It's so quiet.
They've all gone vanished back to bed. But,
It is quiet.
Which I think is where we're going. However, we will actually be back here on Saturday. We've been invited by the lady from the town hall to come and see a concert
Yes.
in the monastery.
Yeah.
So if we can show you any of that, we will either show you now or have shown you already, I don't know. But for now, look, once again, thank you so much
you
for
for
joining
joining
us. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
Take care.
Take care. Bye for now.
Even if you've never flown before, you can take a chance and try once more.